Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
And good Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. Joining me in studio, Ipsy Ed Bonderenka.
Hey, good Saturday afternoon. Thank you.
Good to have you back, man.
Thank you. Good to have you back. I finally drag you back, putting me to all that work. I want an increase in pay if I'm going to have to carry the load that much.
Jump in and do it. It's not fun for you. This is work.
No, I like it.
It's work when the two of us aren't together. That's why I like having you in here, because it's so easy to do, and I've got good help in the studio with me.
Goes fast.
Well, it was nice. Thank you to you and Pastor Rick for hanging out and letting me clear the cobwebs and the crap out of my head, most of it anyways.
Yep.
And it was good to get away. So I'll have to do it again now that I know you guys can handle it without me. It's perfect. I don't have anything to do. It's beautiful. Well, let's take care of a little business. This half hour is brought to you by J&M Landscaping, Tree Division. Listen, if you've got trees that need to be taken down, don't wait for the winter and don't wait for the ice storms. Get them done now. Call J&M Landscaping, 248-640-7029, and they got a 20% off first-time customer coupon in the Current. You can go to currentonline.com. That's COURANTonline.com. If you don't get the Current, you can just download it and tell Jason that, hey, I saw the ad, I heard the ad, whatever.
Or print the coupon out.
Print the coupon again. All you got to tell Jason is,
Yep.
Gary, I heard it on Gary's show. Tell him that. So, but I had them remove a giant tree in my backyard. When I came home, you wouldn't have known the tree was there other than the wood that I asked them to leave for my fire pit, right? Yep. So they did a great job. He's got good folks. He's licensed, insured. He's bonded, blah, blah, blah. You name it, he's got it. You can reach him at 248-640-7029 or go to jndmlandscapingmi.com. Good folks. Jason's a great guy. He really is. So check him out. Get your trees down before wintertime comes. So you guys did good last week. We got a ton of stuff to talk about today, but I wanted to start with something kind of local, Detroit. And this is actually up what we do on this show every week is go over the news on thedailydrift.com. And you're looking
at news you need to know. Thank you.
Boy, you got that out. See? and one of the things, and if you miss the show live, you can always catch it on Talk America Radio, Saturday and Sunday evenings. It's talkamericaradio.us or on Spreaker or wherever. Or it's archived at thedailydrift.com as well. So, half of Detroit's 8 mayoral candidates, right? There's 8 mayoral candidates
and one of their
running
former
for
mayors.
and half of the mayoral candidates, 4 out of the 8, are felons. Now, really? You know, the guy in this article says, well, a lot of politicians have past indiscretions and blah, blah. What do you think is wrong with America when we've got felons running for high political office like the city of Detroit? Mayor, for crying out loud.
Can they vote for themselves? Don't felons in this state lose their vote?
The only thing that prevents them...
Nothing prevents anybody from voting in Detroit. What am I thinking?
Exactly.
Twice, 3 times.
Exactly. The only thing that keeps them, if they were fraud-related felonies, then they're not allowed to run.
Oh, fraud, like what? Voting more than once?
Well, shall we go through?
Shall
we go through? So, the first one here is a lady by the name of Miss Pitts. I can't see it. Donna Marie Pitts, 58. Multiple felony convictions dating back to 1977. She denies wrongdoing in any of the cases against her.
Imagine that.
What's the next one here? Oh, geez.
My buddy's a jailer, and he says, it's funny. None of these people are guilty. Ask them.
Here's another cosmetologist involved in a shooting. Really? Cosmetology. That's a great thing.
Somebody wasn't paying their bill?
Frivolous. I'm just... Curtis Christopher Green was charged with felony at 19. I'm just shootings, right? I'm just blown away. I can't believe that a person with those kind of felonies would actually put themselves out there to run for the mayor. And
it's a primary too. You got to remember, this is the Democratic primary, and who's Who's the Democratic incumbent governor?
right.
The prosecutor who probably put them in jail in the first place. Duggan, right?
I guess, yes. What am I saying? I should not be surprised. I should not be confused. They're Democrats. Enough said.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, my gosh. It's just incredible. Well, if you want to weigh in on the show today, 734-822-1600. Love to get your comments because we're going to talk about.
I'm serious. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm serious about this. Can you imagine a primary debate and Duggan's up there is, oh, yeah, I remember you. I remember when I put you in jail. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's move on, shall we? We're going to start with the RAISE Act. Happy with it?
Yes, I'm looking for a raise. I need.
Well, I think we're all looking for a raise.
But we're not the $15 an hour raise.
Yeah, we're talking about, and here the spin on
the
this.
immigration raise?
Yes, that RAISE Act.
Okay.
It's the spin that the Democrats, the liberal media is putting on this is outrageous. I mean, folks, all this act is, and it was Tom Cotton and Purdue, right, went on with Trump and whatnot. All this does is limit legal immigration. Legal immigration. We're not even talking about illegal immigration at this point, right? This is legal. We're going to cut it in half because we bring allegedly 1 million people into this country every year. 1 million. Okay? As Cotton said, it's the size of the population of Montana coming into this country every year. So those of you who are working, especially if you're working those kind of lower end jobs or less educated requirement jobs, you are facing 1 million additional competitors for the jobs we have left here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just loading down the pool. I mean, it's just like it's going to depress supply and demand.
Right.
There's too much cheap labor, so cheap labor doesn't get the money it could.
It doesn't get any simpler. If you have more people and less work, more people competing, wages go down because Joe is going to work for less than Sam. It's that simple.
Yes, but you're talking about liberals, and they don't understand supply and demand. There's enough to go for everybody.
It's absolutely insane. And so I want to play this track, and I put this up. It's from CNN, and I want you to listen very carefully. You can tell it's CNN right off the bat. Listen to the words, the adjectives. This is not reporting. This is an agenda piece. Derek, you got track 1 ready? All right, let's go ahead and play that.
Did you mean fake news?
Fake news. We don't have it. Okay, when you get it up, give me the thumbs up. But all right, so it's fake news beyond belief, but it's distortion. It's agenda-driven.
Yep.
Because you know what? It makes perfect common sense to, move to a merit-based system, right?
Yeah.
Instead of bringing in the poor people and the immigrants
and their family.
And their families who are going to and as Trump even said, it hurts the recent immigrants. Mm-hmm. It hurts the immigrants that are here. Yeah. It hurts the illegals that are here already as well.
I thought about that. Yeah.
Honestly, it hurts. I would think that if you're an illegal...
This is my position at Home Depot. Who are you? You're a new guy.
You ready? Okay, go. No, you're not ready. Are you ready? Okay. It's great being back. I love it. All right, go ahead and play it.
With his domestic agenda stalled and his approval numbers mired in historic lows, President Trump is pitching to his base.
It's great to be here today to unveil legislation that would represent the most significant reform to our immigration system in a half a century.
Trump, alongside Republican Senators Tom Cotton and David Perdue, unveiling a plan today designed to cut legal immigration to the U.S. by 50%.
You're all set.
It aims to remake America's legal immigration system so it's less rooted in family migration, instead creating a so-called merit-based system that grades potential immigrants on their readiness to work in the U.S.
Our workers.
Trump touting the proposal Wednesday as a way to protect American workers by reducing lower-skilled immigration.
Among those hit the hardest in recent years have been immigrants and, very importantly, minority workers competing for jobs against brand new arrivals. And it has not been fair to our people, to our citizens, to our workers.
Cracking down on immigration, both legal and illegal, was a cornerstone of Trump's presidential bid.
Okay. Any issues with that?
Also, there's a number of people who are coming into this country who are highly skilled, and they're driving down the wages of technical people.
It's exactly right, and that's why I've said for years.
Worked. I've seen it where I've worked. Like, it's a flood of
Absolutely, because you know what? They brought on NAFTA, and they knew the jobs were going to leave. The blue-collar jobs were going to go to Mexico. And what did they tell us? Don't worry, you blue-collar workers. We're going to train you into technical jobs, right?
Right.
And, of course, they did not, for the most part. That all fell apart, and we just went on unemployment, those of us who are blue-collar, right? And now, instead of training us all and training Americans to take these technical jobs, they're now importing, using the H-1Bs, the cheaper guys from India or
they'll work cheaper
Pakistan
to come to America
or wherever. Yes. And so you're getting screwed, America, by this whole immigration thing is screwing you. 1 million people are coming in here every year, and this is for the Zuckerberg who thinks he's going to run for president, right? Mr. Zuckerberg, you knock yourself out, pal. I'll make sure that you don't get elected because you're the scumbag looking for these H-1B visas to bring in and screw the American white-collar worker. You've already screwed the blue-collar workers. Now you want to screw the white-collar workers. Yep. You want to replace us all. You want to put us on
guaranteed
unemployment or
income.
Yes, exactly. Socialism. You want to dumb us down and make us dependent so we have to vote for you again and give you more power. They're screwing you, America. This needs to end. There should be no immigration. Just end it. And you know what? If you have any guts and you're true to your word, Democrats, you should be training Americans for these higher tech jobs instead of bringing in H-1B visas. And let me ask you this. We spend billions of dollars on educational systems, Yale, University of Michigan. Stop giving them social justice degrees. Train them so we don't have to bring in an H-1B visa. Why are we sending kids to college and then we've got nobody to work these H-1B visa jobs, right? How insane is our system at this point?
All they know is, would you like fries with that? You know?
and those jobs are going to the immigrants.
Oh, and to the robots, too.
And now to robots.
Yeah.
Well, like we didn't say that was going to happen, right?
Well, that's the other Raise Act.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick call from Joe in Wyandotte. Joe, welcome to the show.
Take long.
Good to have you back, Gary. 2 weeks without you screaming at us is too long.
Oh, man. He almost lost his coffee into the microphone. That was good,
Joe. You know, I didn't come in here all riled up, Joe. It's just, you know, as I start to it starts to irk me as I'm reading it off the page, right?
Yeah. Well, it's understandable. Well, I wanted to call to talk to you about the Daily Drift, the news you need to know.
Thank you.
Hey, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
From last week, since you were out, we didn't have a chance to talk about it, and we could tie it into the discussion you were just having about jobs. The Democrats' new slogan that they basically stolen from Papa John's.
Yep.
And what a farce it is. Because they were talking about better jobs and better this and better that, when for 8 years under Obama, everything they did depressed the economy and hurt American workers. And now we want to do things like the Raise Act that would help workers, and they will oppose it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's exactly right. Democrats don't care about you, the American worker. They don't. They know that you're catching on, that you've been given too much information, and that this Twitter, the social media, and all this other stuff the truth is getting out there. And it doesn't matter if you're an inner city white or African American person. They know that you're turning on them, and so they need new voters. They're bringing in new dumbed down voters, and the dumber the better, because they know they can control them. That's what's going on. They want dumb, illiterate voters who can come in and do whatever the Democrats tell them, and they can pull the wool over their eyes easier.
Yeah, ones who will fall for the stupid new better this, better that slogans, the hope and change garbage, the empty rhetoric that never matches up to their policy. Barack Obama was the first president in my lifetime to never have 0.25% GDP growth. They reject and oppose every policy that would actually get the economy moving and growing and force competition and upward mobility on wages.
Hey, Joe, that happened in my life, too. My lifetime, too.
You old geezers, you know what I mean?
Hey, you mentioned the Papa John motto. Isn't Papa John's founder a conservative?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
I'm surprised he's not suing the DNC for stealing his slogan. You know, Mr. John, go ahead and do that, whatever. But let me ask you this, too, Joe, while I got you on the phone before I let you go. So second story or first story on the Daily Drift today was Kid Rock not possibly running?
Oh, yeah, I hadn't
I knew you'd be
actually
happy.
the drift today, but based on Kid Rock's last press release, I really got the feeling